One of the biggest buys for your dynasty team is Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs finished the last 10 games of the season as like the wide receiver 54 or something like that. I don't even know. It was really, really bad. And in fact, I'll keep it 100, and I'll tell you what his production was over the last 10 games. I mean, it was really, really bad. And we understand that. Again, it's not about how he did at the end of the year last year. It's the significant discount you can get him at. From a points per game perspective in PPR leagues. 15 points, 7 points, 7 points, 8 points, 6 points, 19 points, 6 points, 6 points. Those are the last 8 games of the year, 9 games of the year. Just Stephon Diggs was still a wide receiver 1 in 2024. So, yes, he ended on a bad note. Even though that is true, you can get Stephon Diggs for so cheap right now, it's not even funny. Here are some examples of some trades that people are making for Stephon Diggs. Right now, equivalent to Stephon Diggs on Keep Trade Cut. The 201. Okay. Baker Mayfield. And I like Baker.
Jeez, come on. I'd prefer Stephon Diggs, if you can tell.
Devontae Adams is kind of the same thing. Like, I mean, there's, not a ton of people are going after that. Javonte Williams, David Njoku, David Montgomery, Christian Kirk, Christian Watson, Swift, Cooper Kupp still, Mari Cooper, Terry McLaurin. Okay. So the point is, where Stephon Diggs is being valued relative to how he'll probably produce next year, it's not really adding up. If I had to guess, I think Stephon Diggs' floor next year is a wide receiver 2. You are paying wide receiver 3 prices for him right now.
Yes, please.
You're buying at a pretty significant discount. And again, this is going to be recency bias, and recency bias is going to play into all of Dynasty Fantasy Football every single season. But this is an example of an elite player that had a bad stretch to end the season that legitimately could come back next year and still have 16-plus point per game upside. Absolutely has that. I don't think anybody would even argue that. No. So from a value standpoint, it's not even about, again, it's about value. It's all about value. Dynasty is value, and this is a great value in Dynasty. He's going to be a good buy on any team, though, because he's going to be worth more 9 months from now than he's worth right now. Yep. And because of that, even if you're a rebuild team, you could sell Stephon Diggs. But find somebody who thinks Stephon Diggs is dead. Push that narrative and find somebody who thinks that. We say the same thing about Brock Purdy. People still think Brock Purdy's overrated and he's a game manager and whatever the heck. Find that with Diggs. Find somebody who's like, yeah, Diggs is dead. I got to get him off my roster. People are desperate because they think they need to stay young, stay young, stay young. Roster Stephon Diggs. Buy Stephon Diggs in Dynasty.
Yeah, please. And I think the biggest counter argument to Stephon Diggs being a buy and why he's fallen so much is, one, he's a head case. Well, I'm here to tell you that Stephon Diggs has never not been a head case or a character in the NFL on whatever team he's been on. He's been like that since he's been in the league. That has not changed. Another thing is going to be his contract situation. So 2024 is the last year before his potential out in 2025 on his contract. If they do not take that out, he is under contract with the Buffalo Bills through 2027. That's 3 more years after 2024. So they would be able to save, my goodness, probably like $55 million if they let go of Stephon Diggs. But what I'll say to that is, number one, with Stephon Diggs, he has a lot of contending value, so you're not necessarily looking beyond 2024 when you're investing in him right now, because if you're a rebuilder, you're looking at shipping him off. If you're a contender, you're looking at him contributing to you winning your championship in 2024. At wide receiver 28 prices on Keep Trade Cut, that to me is worth taking on the risk of Stephon Diggs potentially not being tied to Josh Allen for the next 4 years after 2024. Now, another counter to that counter argument is that Stephon Diggs, during his downtime, during his down weeks in 2023, that was also when Buffalo was looking not very good. I mean, honestly, when did Buffalo look good? They looked okay in the last 4 weeks of the season when they steamrolled. They didn't even steamroll the Chargers, and they played the Jets, and they played the injury-prone Miami Dolphins at the end of the year. They did not have very difficult matchups towards the end of the season after that really tough stretch with the Chiefs and the Eagles. So what I'm trying to say here is there were a lot of things going on in Buffalo this year that really negatively impacted every single player in that offense with the exception of James Cook.
So let me read a couple. Just let's put some numbers into this argument. 6th in targets, 9th in target share, 13th in target rate, 9th in routes run, 11th in air yards. But this is interesting. He's still 6th in receptions, by the way. We still love this opportunity. He was 7th in target accuracy, but he was 47th in the league in QB rating per target.
Yeah, it's because Allen was playing hero ball, and he had to for them to make a playoff run. But
yes, it's not exactly Allen's fault, but
no. To me, there's a lot of problems in Buffalo, and I do not think those stem from Stephon Diggs not producing towards the end of the season. He honestly is just he's suffering the consequences of that team being honestly incompetent for a lot of the year.
And one thing you notice is even though he was getting the targets, you see metrics like his true catch rate, 58th in the league. 58th in the league. So they I didn't even see they promoted Joe Brady.
I was going to say, so they're bringing back Joe Brady as the offensive coordinator
He is the full-time
in 2024.
offensive
And that's interesting. I think when you have a full offseason for Joe Brady to really get to really put his fingerprint on that offense, you're going to see a lot more probably diversity from a play calling perspective and just an ability to spread the offense out a little bit more. Don't be surprised if they go out there and draft a wide receiver as well to compensate for Gabe Davis likely leaving in free agency. So just keep that in mind. I think anything they do offensively in the offseason will help Stephon Diggs be able to produce more in 2024.
Yep, you got the next guy.
Yeah, so the next guy we're going to have here is Josh Downs. We love talking about Josh Downs, and it's not because he's on the Colts.
No.
That's just, don't even think
just
about that.
Just a bonus.
Don't even think about it. It's super duper bonus. Avery liked Josh Downs a lot before he went to the Colts. So we're certified Josh Downs fans, not Colts fans. We are Colts fans, though.
I loved him in college.
Look, Josh Downs, his in my personal opinion, there could be a lot of reasons why Josh Downs is a buy. I think it's as simple as this. And I'm just going to compare the regular season production of these three wide receivers to really show how there wasn't really much of a difference and there shouldn't be this large of a price gap. So Jaden Reed in 2023 as a rookie had 64 receptions for 793 yards and 8 touchdowns. Zay Flowers had 77 receptions for 858 yards and 5 touchdowns.
It's a slight step up, yeah.
Josh Downs, that's why he's a significant tier above Jaden Reed specifically. Yep. Josh Downs had 68 receptions for 771 yards and only 2 touchdowns.
Huh.
So really,
what about the receptions? What are the receptions between Downs and Watson? Say those again.
Downs and Reed, 68 receptions versus 64 receptions for Jaden Reed. Josh Downs had 98 targets. Jaden Reed had 94. Jaden Reed had 8 touchdowns. Josh Downs had 2.
This is not a Jaden Reed tweet either. We love Jaden Reed.
Really like
Jaden.
Actually, we're recommending in a lot of the blueprints that we've been doing recently to invest in Jaden Reed because I don't think he's being valued near what his ceiling could be in Green Bay's offense tied to Jordan Love. And if you want one of those team blueprints, Avery.
Yeah. So flockfantasy.com/domain. When you use code domain and choose a mother flocker tier, you do those 2 things. You have to be a code domain user. If you use our code, you get one of these. It's real pretty. It's real blue. It's real print. It's a team blueprint, and it gives you a multi-year detailed plan for your dynasty team. We go through, evaluate your dynasty team top to bottom, decide what the best course of action is for it, and then we walk you through that with one-on-one advice, with things like exclusive videos and articles over on the site, with our rankings, everything that comes with it. Flockfantasy.com/domain. Again, if you use code domain and choose Mother Flocker tier, you get a team blueprint for your dynasty team, and you get access to all of our exclusives. We have a lot of fun over there with our community. We got lots of people that play dynasty. We're primarily dynasty players over there right now. It's dynasty heaven. So flockfantasy.com/domain. Like I said, use code domain when you sign up, and you'll get our stuff. But Josh Downs, 20th in route wins, total route wins. And that is I'm assuming his opportunity share was not, so his target rate 48th, snap share 59th. So 59th in snap share, 20th in total route wins. 10th in win rate versus man. 18th in route win rate. Those are the 3 metrics I'm looking at that I'm really encouraged about that because although the sample size wasn't as big as we wanted it to be, he still was able to amass 750 yards and put those kind of efficiency metrics together from a route win standpoint. Routes won has proven to be a very telling metric for fantasy productive wide receivers. We see it time and time again, especially consistent
high floor wide receivers.
Yes, especially high floor. Let's establish something else. Also, 3rd in slot snaps. Oh, that makes me so happy.
I know.
Love it. Yep. Let's establish something else here. Gardner Minshew, not good. We would know. It's our favorite team. We watch all the games.
And honestly, it was impressive what he did as a backup quarterback.
Yeah, but it was a testament to the team as a whole, and less about Gardner Minshew individually. Like, every single Colts fan is kind of like, I'm ready for Anthony Richardson to come back.
Yes.
You could just tell how much more dynamic we were.
And the passing volume was not that much lower than when Minshew was in the offense. Correct. Anthony Richardson, and this will be a narrative that is pushed and pushed and pushed in the offseason that you're going to constantly hear, and that's Anthony Richardson has so much rushing upside that it's going to take away from Michael Pittman and Josh Downs' production.
Just stop.
That is false. Do not listen to it. Do not.
Like, if you're going to take our word for anything, do it for Colts-related things. Like, it's the only thing we actually would say we know a lot about.
Guys, this is the Shane Steichen offense, the same offense that was run for the Super Bowl appearing Philadelphia Eagles in 2022, who helped produce 2 wide receiver ones in their offense with Jalen Hurts, who had a ton of rushing upside. We've seen this before.
By the way, he was 19th in Yak this year. I mean, you're talking about
that snap share,
the targets
that
with that
opportunity?
snap share,
That's
and
crazy.
the Yak.
Yeah, I also heard
Bye.
I also heard another very interesting stat. Shout out to franchise guy. I think he said this, but Josh Downs is he's certified one of the most sure-handed wide receivers in the NFL. The only players that I think had a higher or a lower drop rate than Josh Downs was like Justin Jefferson and DJ Moore and Brandon Cooks, ironically, and then like one other wide receiver. So very, very good.
Sounds about right. Our next buy on this list is going to be Jared Goff. Jared Goff has played his tail off this year. There is no way around it. And from a fantasy perspective, we've seen that as well. He's been fairly solid. He's 11th in fantasy points per game, about 18, and at 18 points per game from a quarterback in a Superflex league. Nothing to shy away from. 4,500 passing yards, 67% completion percentage, 21 rushing yards. 21 whole rushing yards. Isn't that insane? In reality, he had 2 rushing touchdowns, so you're adding 12 points there. But 30 passing touchdowns. That's what I was getting at. 605. He threw the ball 605 times, which, by the way, was the most in the NFL. The opportunity is ridiculous. And looking at his efficiency, second in pass attempts, according to Player Profiler. But first, if you include the postseason. 4th in red zone attempts. 9th in team pass attempts per game. 2nd in passing yards. 11th in air yards. 6th in pressured throws. So he's doing that all while being pressured quite a bit, which actually adds up if you watch the Lions. 9th in yards per attempt. 6th in accuracy rating. 5th in true completion percentage. 6th in deep ball completion percentage. 8th in play action completion percentage. 8th in true passer rating. 8th in EPA. He was good this year. He was productive, and he was efficient.
Yeah, I think this offseason you can consider us certified Jared Goff fans with his price. I mean, we have not shied away from this. We've already mentioned Jared Goff as a really good value. This is the first video where he's going to be a significant buy for us. I mean,
and it's not going to last
keep trade cut, QB 16 right now. I don't think that's going to last all offseason because he's about to get paid some big money.
He's going to get a contract.
In Detroit, he's going to get a contract, solidify that contract insulation. And when you look at his production and you put it back to back with Tua Tagovailoa's, it is the same. The same. And Tua's going 3 rounds higher than Jared Goff is. And we like Tua. We like his price. But we don't see that much of a difference between them. There's like 2 years difference between them, which is crazy.
Yeah. Jared Goff, again, when he gets a contract, he's going to go up in value in Dynasty. Buy him before them. Buy him now.
Yeah.
Buy him now.
Yep. We're also going to go with buying Travis Kelce. I think we saw this coming. We knew that Kelce was going to fall in value because of his age.
And because of his performance this season, quite frankly.
Well, the funny thing is his performance was still tight end 3.
Exactly.
And at this price now, his overall ADP is 70. So that is really like the 6th round, but later than that even. I've seen him fall to the 7th, the late 7th. He'll probably keep falling potentially. And honestly, I'm taking him all day. I'm taking him all day at that price.
I mean, look, everything is still here for Kelce. 4th in targets, 3rd in target share, 4th in target rate, 9th in snap share, 5th in air yards, 4th in air yard share, 3rd in deep targets, 2nd in red zone targets, 2nd in target quality rating, 1st in catchable target rate, 3rd in reception, 2nd in receiving yards, 4th in yards after catch, 5th in unrealized air yards, 7th in total touchdowns, 1st in fantasy points per game. He's still 1st in fantasy points per game. The dude played more than half the season with a bum knee. And as he got better, from a health perspective, He got better from a fantasy perspective.
He looks
as
like
well.
the old Travis Kelce when,
And the other
when you
night,
see him in the
Looked
playoffs.
freaking amazing.
Yeah, and with Kelce, this is something, and we'll come out with a video about this tight end data that we've been gathering, over 200 league-winning tight ends that we've pulled. And Travis Kelce in tight end premium and non-tight end premium was actually very rarely on that list. He did not make that list for teams that won championships with Travis Kelce. Didn't happen very often this year, and it was because of his price last season. What was his price last year?
He was going in the
He was
third
going
round.
in the third round.
Do you remember last year?
Price cut. You did not like it. His
I
price
know.
this year has been cut in half. I guarantee you are getting this production from 2023, if not better, at half the price. He will become a league-winning tight end next year.
Absolutely, he will. And like Nathan said, I actually last year I saw him and I in the third, and I was like, I'm avoiding him at this price. I think this is the year he takes an ADP hit. But now that he's taken the ADP hit, he took about 2 rounds more than he should have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm buying
Take him.
here. Absolutely. 15 points per game? Absolutely. I don't think he's retiring. You're gonna buy Travis Kelce just because people are pissed about Taylor Swift.
Value adjacent to Jake Ferguson. Would you rather have 15 points per game with Travis Kelce or Jake freaking Ferguson? Baker Mayfield, Devontae Adams, David Njoku, George Pickens.
Should I lose 50 viewers right now?
Yeah.
You should shake it off and draft Travis Kelce. All right. Well, I'm gonna go George Kittle then.
Nice.
George Kittle is
Speaking of,
the best tight end in the NFL. The best tight end in the NFL,
True
period.
tight
All
end.
around tight end.
yeah.
Did you see him pancake Hutchinson? That was freaking awesome.
To Hutchinson.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
crazy.
30 years old now, but he has been awesome recently. And honestly, a lot of that has come, yes, primarily from big plays, but it doesn't really matter. He's still getting a lot of production, and he's only 10th in targets. Okay, he is 3rd in air yards, though. 2nd in A dot. So again, 1st in deep targets. You saw all this one coming. Also, 1st in target quality rating. Shout out Brock Purdy for that one. 1st in receiving yards in the league while being 10th in receptions. It's just a different type of tight end. This is not a TJ Hawkinson. This is not a Travis Kelce where you're getting an elite amount of targets. But the playmaking ability from George Kittle, coupled with the consistency we've seen from George Kittle recently. Remember 2 years ago, George Kittle was injury prone. That was the narrative.
Yeah. He's at least consistently playing. Maybe not consistently producing week in and week out, but in this Bear tight end landscape, that doesn't matter. And it especially doesn't matter at his price. That is why he was one of the biggest tight end league winners this year, is because the amount of points he was scoring severely outweighed the price that he was going at. Like, he was so affordable, and he should not have been falling as far as he did.
All right, let's play a game. I'm going to say George Kittle's efficient. You're going to say how efficient is George Kittle is super efficient.
So how efficient is he?
He's so efficient that he was 1st in yards per out run, 1st in yards per target, 1st in yards per reception, and 1st in yards per team pass attempt this year.
That's pretty efficient.
So even though he's not a target hog like we would want, do you know why he's a huge buy? Because he's this efficient, and if his targets go up with I don't know, maybe one of those receivers not being there next year,
Oh.
if his volume goes up, George Kittle could put together a tight end 1 season next year.
Yep.
He easily could. And you're getting him in the 9th, 10th round. I think he's a great value. I think he's a really good tight end, and I think he's going to set your team apart. And you can wait until the 9th round to draft him. I love
Remember the fantasy Darren Waller versus George Kittle discussion?
it. Did we really have that?
Not you and I, but we did with the rest of the fantasy community. Swearing by Darren Waller, we were swearing by Kittle.
Yeah, I do remember that. All right, let's wrap this up with the sexiest set of buys you've ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen,
Old running backs that have already hit their value cliff. That's Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, and James Conner. If you are left with them dying on your roster at this point, it's house money, man. You're getting points for free. And if you're a rebuild, I want you to think this. Get this in your head.
we always get crap for this.
2023 Adam Thielen, 2023 Adam Thielen, 2023 Adam Thielen, 2023 Adam Thielen. If you're a rebuild and you have one of these assets now, save them for the 2024 season. Ship each one of them off for a 2025 second round pick. Done.
Because you might not get a second for them right now.
Yep. You will not.
And they're not really worth a third because they're going to produce next season, right? Joe Mixon,
Yeah.
producing next season. I know it's news. He will produce. Aaron Jones, he's going to be around again. He's going to produce. And the Packers are going to be good. James Conner keeps getting better. It doesn't make any sense. He becomes more efficient as he gets older. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
He's also going to be around next season on a team that has Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. Shot called.
Yeah, I think he's going to stick there. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think
he will.
I mean, he's a team captain. He's bought into that culture with Gannon.
And they love
I think
him.
he sticks around.
And they love him.
Yeah.
They're old. They're not sexy. They are buys. You must buy the 3 old running backs.
You must.
You must.
This is the way.
This is the way. All right. Make sure you drop a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go get your team blueprint, flockfantasy.com/domain. And make sure you have a good day, and we'll make sure to see you later.